We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is.
Hello. My name is Chelb. My pronouns are they, them, and this is Phasecraft Collective, your weekly check-in with the tarot to get the vibes, to feel things out, to see what energy is available for the week to come. Wow, folks, it's quite a time. You know, we are coming off of Pride weekend for a lot of places. I look the way I look if you're watching the video because I've been at my local Pride Festival yesterday and today for my mundane day job. And boy, was it wet and humid and hot. I'm exhausted. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. But I'm really excited to read into the energy of this week because we are turning the page from one half of the year to the next. So obviously July is, when we are officially moving into the second half of the year. Obviously, since the summer solstice is when the days have started slowly, steadily growing shorter. That kind of marks that midway point between, spring and autumn. But the turning of the page, the chapter, if you will, is officially happening on Tuesday. And of course, we're talking about the Gregorian calendar, right? It is not the oldest calendar in the world. And a lot of people in the magical space choose to ignore it because it is the calendar of the colonizer, of the oppressor, and yeah, for sure. At the same time, our societies, a lot of them, most of them in the world at this point, do navigate around them. So our lives do align with them, and our lives have meaning with them. So there's nothing wrong with following things on the Gregorian calendar. It comes up a lot around New Year, around, not setting intentions, not doing New Year's resolutions because it's not the right time for it. Spring is the right time for it, but every time a cycle starts over, right, is an opportunity to set an intention. Whether that's the moon cycle, whether that's the astrological wheel, whether that's the Gregorian calendar, whatever you want to follow. If you want to follow it all, follow it all. I love taking opportunities to check in, right? So this week, just without even looking at the cards, is a great time to look back on any resolutions or intentions that you set for 2025. If you got a year ahead reading, to revisit it and check in with your goals, your outlines, see what has come to fruition, what has not, what is still maybe on the horizon for you. And do a little journaling, do a little intentioning. See if it all still resonates, because it might not. You might want to let go of some things that you thought you really wanted to get done this year. You might want to shift your focus into things that haven't been getting quite the amount of intention that you wanted to give them. Maybe you want to reignite the fire that you felt when you set those intentions if things have kind of fallen off course for you. All of these things are great choices, and it's a great time to do that. The fiery energy of summer is always good for empowerment and motivation. So take advantage of it. Dive in. You can start your life over. Tomorrow or Tuesday, which for many of you is tomorrow, unless you're watching this on Sunday night. Anyway, so that's this week from just my perspective as a human without looking at the cards again. And before we dive in, I'm actually going to ask you to do something super podcasty, and that's rate and review. Whoa, I've been doing this podcast for over a year, and I don't think I've ever asked anyone to rate and review. And some of you have, and I just am so grateful for it, to see the lovely little stars underneath the title of my podcast. But if you leave comments, a rating, a review, if you give me a star rating, it helps other people see me, find this space, find this guidance should they need it. So yeah, that would be so cool of you. And before we get started, quick reminder that next week is the start of the summer class series with Witchcraft 101 on July 10th. Oh my gosh, it's here, it's coming, we're doing it. I love teaching Witchcraft 101, and I can't remember if I mentioned it last week, but I was reviewing some of the materials for the class, and I've decided to infuse a little bit of my resistance magic teachings that I teach in my resistance magic class with Witchcraft 101. So what that really means is that not only are we going to go over, what it means to be a witch, how to make your witchcraft routine, how to identify what being a witch is like for you, but we'll also talk about how to use that power, that wisdom, that intention for helping to shift the world, helping to help others, helping to protect yourself and your community, and be an active participant in creating the world that you want to see, which I think is pretty lovely. And it's also why a lot of people have decided to come to the craft recently. So there's a lot of good stuff that's going to be coming in Witchcraft 101. If you've taken Witchcraft 101 before, if you've taken Resistance Magic before, it would be just a review for you. So I'm not necessarily saying you should come if you're already familiar with that work. But if you haven't and you're curious about magic and resistance and fighting for a better world, then July 10th on Zoom. Come on through. It's going to be great. Okay, now let's get to the cards. As always, let's begin by taking a few minutes to breathe and ground and center together. And today, let's just do the breathing part first and foremost. I'm going to close my eyes, and I invite you to do the same if it feels safe and good to do so, and also bring your hands to your heart here. If you don't want to close your eyes, you can let them settle down at your cheeks or land somewhere else out in space, but just come into your body. Again, hands being on your heart so that you can feel the rise and fall of your chest with your breath. Feel the texture, the sound of the air moving in and out of your lungs. And instead of grounding into what's beneath you, ground into yourself. Feel the weight of your hands on your chest as you breathe. Feel the air coming out of your nostrils or your mouth. Maybe you can feel that breeze moving past your hands. Feel the softness of your skin inside of your mouth, recognizing water that lives within you. Notice the warmth of your body, of your breath, the heat that is fire. And once more, returning to the weight of your hands on your chest. Maybe taking a moment to notice the bones of your fingers, the bones of your sternum, your clavicles, the earth that lives within you. Knowing that at all times you hold within you the power of earth, air, fire, and water. And spirit, you are spirit having a human experience. And your power, your existence is protection. Earth below us, sky above us, divine within us, love surround us. The circle is cast, and so it is. You can take a couple more breaths. Whenever you're ready, You can open your eyes. Cool. All right. Let's get to the cards. I'm realizing now in this moment, again, if you're watching, I don't have my usual lighting set up. So I've got this like kind of weird backlit situation going on. We love it. Something different. Something different. You're just asking the cards today, as always, what would be most beneficial for anyone listening to hear, to know as we move into the week of June 30th, into the beginning of July. Queen of Swords, decisiveness, boundary, wisdom, and fierce love. Your experiences have shaped who you are, and though a lot of that has been difficult, lost a card, hold on. And though a lot of that has been difficult, Nine of Swords, it has made you resilient. It has made you able to understand what is needed. It has made your thoughts and your words trustworthy, and you need to trust them. Of course, within reason and accounting for safety. If there's any reason why you should not trust your thoughts, please practice discernment and be aware of that. But for the most part, you have the knowledge and the wisdom and the skill to blaze forward in whatever way would be helpful to you. Your act of care in this moment is strength of conviction. Decide where you want to go and do not change your direction for anyone, because your choices are channels that show you and teach you and tell you who you are, where you stand, and who you want to be. Whether those are the same things or different things. Pay attention to the way your impulses guide the choices that you make. Don't overthink things, but let logic, let your intellect kind of lead a little bit, knowing that it is your heart that is the base of it always, that every action you take is out of a desire to protect, to love, to care. And even if it comes off a little bit more, I don't want to say selfish, but even if it comes off a little bit more cold, you know the intention. All right. Got lots of good things showing up. Let me see, is this it for today? That was a lot. That's 4. Okay, and that's the final 4. All right. Okay, yeah, so that was the Queen of Swords and the Nine of Swords. And remember, too, that you have reached a point, probably, with your thought processes that makes you ready or is ready to, like, move through them, to stop trying to perfect anything, and instead, simply trust the knowledge and the experience. I don't necessarily want to say first thought, best thought, but consider the first thought, because it's coming for a reason. Don't just push something away because you don't know where it came from. It came from you, right? Because then we have the Queen of Wands. Everybody loves to see the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands was followed by the Ten of Swords, the Page of Cups, and the Four of Wands. So again, like, once you find that confidence in your conviction from the Queen of Swords, then you can embody it fully with the Queen of Wands. Then you can take it from just being the way you speak and the way you act and making it your full expression of self. And that's what this is. The Queen of Wands leading in July is this reminder that you deserve to fully show up as who you are because you are powerful. Your desire is a perfectly good driving force, is a perfectly good reason to seek to act. People want to know you, so don't hide from them. It is only if you betray yourself by hiding that you suffer. In this context, of course, there are many other things that can cause a person to suffer. But in this context, stop betraying yourself. Just walk forward and let it be a threshold that is made of, again, desire and love and creativity and intuition. A solid sense of where you belong, again, of who you are, again, of what you want. That makes it easy to find stability within passion, that makes it easy to pursue something with the right amount of fuel. This is an indication that whatever we start this week has the potential to go for a long time. There's a revitalization here. There is an energetic reset. Finding the fuel for your passions might be something you focus on this week. How can you, if we're talking about realigning with our goals, right? Maybe some things have fallen to the wayside because you just don't have the energy for them. Where can you get that energy? How can you recalibrate to make sure that you have time to fully explore your heart, to fully explore your intuition? Again, listen to your intuition. Listen to the signals that your body, that your mind, that your heart give you. That's all your intuition to take you where you want to go. From there, what have we got? Okay, 6 of Cups, 8 of Cups, 3 of Wands. Wow, and then some heavy hitters right at the end. So 3 of Wands, 6 of Cups, 4 of Cups. Wait, right? 6 of Cups, 8 of Cups. Excuse me. We then have the 5 and 3 of coins. Here with the 3 of Wands. And then these cups around you. Again, like this is that sense of letting your dreams be reality. A lot of times we, talk ourselves out of following things because they seem too far-fetched, or like our logical brain tells us that they're not possible. Instead of telling yourself that something isn't possible, simply examine all the ways in your life in which you are already cultivating it. Lean into, again, the joy, again, the willingness to believe that everything is possible. Find a way to ignite a constant sense of hope. You're like, Chubb, have you seen the news? I have. And so what better time to focus on hope? Again, 8 of Cups, 3 of Wands. This is creative energy and stable emotional energy. What if the secret to maintaining your mind, maintaining your emotional well-being right now is to actually let yourself move forward and step into what you want to see? You cannot wait anymore. Now is the time. There is no time like the present. And I don't want to say there will never be another chance because nobody knows what's going to happen. But it is oftentimes in periods of chaos that people have two different reactions. Number one, blaze forward and create as if the world is ending. Number two, stay hidden, stay behind, give up. And you cannot give up. No giving up here. With the 3 and 5 of coins, again, there's that creative energy, but in this sense, you are going to probably need to find resource and help where you've never looked before. There will be a need to get scrappy. There will be a need to figure out new ways and potentially, yes, calling in people who have the skills that you need because you don't have, whatever it is you don't have. Someone else does. And maybe you need to learn it yourself, or maybe someone can just come in and support you. But do not let scarcity or scarcity mindset keep you from pursuing something. There is always a way. There is always a way. So figure it out, which sounds so sassy, but figure it out. Stop making excuses. Stop deciding that you can't for this, and this reason. Stop letting lack of access keep you from working with what you have, for asking for donations, for trading rather than paying. There is always a way. Find it. Find the way. Judgment. Judgment, the Hermit, and the Emperor. In the call to collective liberation, in the moments when we are being faced with who we are not on the individual level, but as a society, our individual expertise, our individual knowledge and wisdom becomes collective wisdom. What you know becomes currency. That's not what I intended to say, but that's what came out. What you know becomes currency, not again in a manipulative way, but in the way that you just, again, need to fully step forward as you. Fully be who you are. Let your light shine, and those who want to follow it will follow it, and those who do not will stay behind. But your way is forward. Yes, you might need to face some things that you've done that you are not proud of. But that is part of the process of becoming who you are meant to be right now. And then with the Emperor, fully, again, this is that same energy of the Queen of Wands, but much more solid and determined. Once you have been in practice of being fully yourself, then it's no longer just a practice. It is an essence. It is a way of existing. It is a shining example for those who would be afraid to do the same. And it gives you the ability to structure your life, your routines, your world into something that serves your mission and your vision. Invite the Emperor in not as some conquering, malevolent I almost said Maleficent, which is a Disney villain, so that's fine. Malevolent force, but as a guiding hand and a stable resource, as one who cares and strategizes and navigates, who has goals and stops at nothing to achieve them. That is the Emperor energy that we want to bring in. Let's look at the bottom of the deck. And it's the Knight of Swords. Truth above all else, seeking it, finding it, speaking it. Again, deciding which way you want to go and not letting anyone stop you, including yourself. Beware, of course, as always, of words becoming too volatile, emotions running too high. Know when to pause, when to think rather than speak, but know that the way is clear if you choose to make it. Cool. Cool. That's fun. That feels good, I guess. It's a little aggressive today, but it's fine. This is the medieval Scapini tarot, in case you were curious. Yeah, I find that these older decks kind of have that more direct energy. This one was illustrated in the 40s. It might have been the 60s. Anyway, that's a lot of information that you probably don't care about, but I will list that in the episode description, as always. Okay. Let's go ahead and close out. Feels done. Feels ready. Okay, bring your hands to your chest once more. Once more, close your eyes if it feels okay. Take a couple of breaths. Once again, just recognizing each element within you. Earth, air, fire, water, spirit. Moving through you, existing within you and around you for you to call upon whenever you need. Take a big deep breath in. Exhale out your mouth. Letting go the energy of circle. Fully releasing this space. Opening it once more for new energy to flow. I send the energy of all those watching and listening back to them whole, complete, and intact. I take my energy back to myself whole, complete, and intact. May we remain friends, though our energies are no longer crossed, corded, or tangled at all, starting now. Take a breath, feel your energy settle into you, all yours. The circle is open, and so it is. All right, friends. That's the end. As always, everything will be in the episode description as far as links that you might need to get a reading. My July is wide open. Well, it's wide open in the sense that I don't have any appointments booked currently, but remember, I think I mentioned it last week that I have less times available because of some other things going on in my life. So if you want a reading, get a reading. If you want to come to a class, come to a class. If you want to rate and review the podcast, please do. All right, y'all. Have an incredible rest of your week, and I will see you next time.